Alyssa. Hold on,
Hey,
you're coming in. Hi, how are
I'm
you?
good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, I am so ready. I'm so excited.
I am too. Also, I apologize for last week.
Oh,
I messed myself up, and let me tell you, it was hard. So I
oh
love you.
no,
Thank you for
don't
letting me
worry.
move you. Okay.
I hope
Okay.
you're feeling
I just
better.
I am. It took me a couple of days. It took me a
Right.
couple of days, but we're good. But I hate it when something, I mean, that's never happened to me before, but it's like, because I can just feel everybody being like, oh, and I'm like,
Right.
I know. Yeah,
No,
it's a
no,
whole thing.
I totally understand. So it's
You're
all
kidding.
good. It's
Okay.
all good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So I want to tell you, um, first, I want to tell you the feelings I'm getting right now, and then we're gonna get into your session. So I sat here, you're gonna notice at the beginning of your recording, I'm just kind of like sitting here. And I have the shit eating grin on my face right now, just because this is the feeling of, I'm just going to tell you, it's a feeling of love. It is so nice. It is so wonderful. And I think this person just loves you terribly, like so good, so much, so much. I don't even have words to describe right now. So I'll have to figure out what this relationship is. But there is, and the feeling is like, oh, hi, hey, how are you? Like they're like, it's like not having seen somebody for forever, and they just come up to you and like they're so gentle and they're so nice. It's like, hey, let's sit down, let's talk. It's weird because I don't think that they're always gentle. I think they could be a wild personality, let me tell you that. But in this moment, it's nothing but sweet. I have a lot of pressure. Tell me. We're just so excited that you get to hear me. Like that's how they say it. Um, this is not something that would be on their radar at all, at all. But they're talking about how I go, what do you think about this? And this person is just like, oh, this is not something that'd be on my radar at all. But I'm here, I'm doing it. Hey, like, how are you? They keep bringing their eyebrows up over and over again. He's like, this person's like trying to figure out how to use my body. Um, ooh. So let me tell you how I do this. They have very intense working hands, and we'll have to figure that
Oh,
out. Um, so what happens here is that we're asking somebody's soul, we're asking somebody's conscious to come in. And for me getting this feeling, this means that they're with you. They haven't been waiting with me. So they've been waiting with you to come in, which is cool. That means that you talk to them. This means that you keep them in your mind a whole lot. This means you like still try to keep them part of your life.
yeah.
And they're really happy about that. That means that your tie is stronger than me telling them to come over and talk to me. That's good.
Good.
That means great channeling. Okay. The next thing too is when they show up, you have to remember that what we're doing is we're saying, hey, I want you to come. And by the way, I'm going to be looking at everything else but you because I'm trying to like focus out of it.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're saying, hey, have them come in, hop in my body, get in my brain, try to use my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, my experiences, and different parts on me. Wow. To try to tell a story on what happened with them, what's going on, what do they see with you, what's going on in your life, what happened in their life, like all these little things. So when they do this, they, like I said, they talk with signs and symbols sometimes. If I see a pineapple, that means I'm from Florida, stuff like that. They'll put them in
Okay.
a line. Another thing is they'll talk in feelings and emotions. So sometimes they'll be like, hang on, let me figure out this feeling. And it's because these feelings are, one of them could be, I'm sorry, this is morbid, but I do this all the time. But one of them is like, oh, I killed myself. But there's a different feeling from, did I shoot myself versus did I hang like it's a feeling.
Right.
So I may sit there and be like, like that, but
Right.
because I want to be correct. The other
Okay.
ways are that they'll try to put me in different situations that may have happened to you, may have happened to them, or will happen to you. And that's based on my own experiences and my other sessions. And the last one is that they will do words and phrases like what's happening right now. Now, the stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm getting all these feelings, and then I have a couple words coming in, but most of it's feeling. And they keep and they get in your body. He's making me feel all these cramps in me, which is weird. Now don't say anything. And all I really need you to do is tell me, Amy, heck yeah, that makes sense, or no, it doesn't. We can talk about it. We can go deeper into it. But I really want to work him and see how much he can talk.
Okay.
Because remember, this is probably the first time he's done this.
Yes.
And yeah. And so I'm a tool for him. It's like giving somebody a drill bit and saying, work it correctly. I'm a drill bit. Sits next to you and he's like, so this is a relationship, like a relationship, because he sits next to you and he goes, oh, did you miss me? Oh, I know you did. And it's just a little bit too handsy to be like a brother or anything like that. Let me tell you that. Just because when he decided to do like this, he definitely makes references to boobs, and that's not something that family members generally do. So I just want to let you know that. Oh. We're young, we're great, we're good. What do you mean you're young? You are young. Everybody's still young. Shut up. What? He loves you. So this was a what? Interesting. He calls you his. So he's telling me a word, but I get a different feeling. He calls you his wife, but there's a feeling of lack. And so were you not married?
We were engaged. We were engaged.
Oh, you were
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. That makes sense. Yeah, he goes, my wife, but then there's this cut down, which is like lack. So I'm like, okay, so that's the one step down. He's learning how to do this. Tell me, bud. He says, I give anything. I'll give you anything I want to be back here. I'll do anything. He's like talking to me like that. He's like, come on. He misses you so much. He says that last step is a doozy. So that's a sign for me that this was, he wasn't planning this, which is good. That's also why he'd be in heaven. He says, I don't want to be in heaven. I want to be here. Heaven is here. Insert funny joke at the same time. Because he like adds this in here. What? He loves you. He's so homey. He's so nice. He just wants to get up and like have breakfast with you. Like that's it. He just wants to get up and have breakfast. He loves that time with you. What are you doing? He's a stocky guy. He's stocky. Like he's thick, not fat. He's thick.
Right.
He could protect me. He could protect you. Sorry, he's in my body. This is what he's doing. He's like standing up at a counter and he has me like in it, and he's making me feel what it's like to like walk around and like have like bacon and eggs or sausage and eggs. That's so odd right now. Like he's just hanging out with you. Oh, so y'all live together. You did. You couldn't resist him. Did y'all move in together really quickly?
We lived in the same apartment building. And so I kind of was living in his place for a long time. And then we finally moved in together into mine and got rid of his.
Yes. Okay. Can I tell you something? So he's comparing you and his relationship to mine and my second husband, to ours, because we both lived in apartments. We met, we went on a date, and 2 weeks later we moved in together, but we lived in the same apartment area. And then we ended up moving. That's why he says, he goes like this. He goes, I go, so what about her? He's like, oh, she couldn't leave me. I was like, well, what do you mean by that? He was like, oh, it's much like you and him. He's like, once she came over, she just stuck. And I was like, oh, I understand that completely. And he misses that. Y'all are hot to trot for each other. Let's just say he likes your hair. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Oh, there's some feelings going on right there. I'm sorry. He's still a man. Okay. We're just going to leave that there. So he was married before. You were married before. You were both married before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He says, and he says, the only difference is, he says, I'm like you, which means I was married before. And he says, but she was too as well. So my husband I have now wasn't, and he's like, that's the only difference. He's comparing a lot to try to make me understand. He what weird. Interesting. So your ex-husband is a douchebag?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He it goes like this. He says she doesn't have that good relationship like my ex-husband, my husband's father, my father, my kid. He's like, doesn't have that relationship. Man, if I could, I would. He's like, he's a prick, like literally calls him that in my head. And I go, okay. And he says he can go and like walk a mile. He's like saying all these, he's pulling out all these random words in my head. And he's like trying to put them together to let me know that we don't like this guy. One. Did you meet his ex-wife?
I've met her, yes.
You did. Interesting. Okay, so it is. Okay. I go, what about I said, what about yours? How was he? And he goes, oh, well, it's almost like that's a little awkward or something like that. And I go, why? And then he has an image of you and her like that. And I was like, why is that? What is going on there? One. Interesting. He's talking about maybe it was her, maybe it was me, maybe we just grew out of each other. So he's talking about the ex-wife. So they really just didn't need to be together at all. Like wasn't a thing. You're the love of his life. You are his everything. He adores you. What happened with you? Why are you here? What was going on? He likes to lay down with you at night.
Yeah.
He does. He still does.
Oh.
He does. Every night. He loves you. You're not married to anybody else yet?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I go, why? So spirits, people that you love, relationships that you have, when you get another spouse or when you get another significant other, they kind of back off from you a little bit because they when they're with you and when their energy is with you, you think about them more because they get in your head. They want you to be there. That's them showing up. And so when you're with another spouse or you get married to them, they want you to be in that present moment with them all the time. They don't want you to be in the past. So they kind of like, they're not gone. They just move aside a little bit. And so for him saying that he's in this bed with you, that he's laying with you every night, that means you are not married again. You don't have a significant other right now. So I just want to let you know how that works. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, he loves you. He says, tell me, what happened to you, bud? Can you tell me? I was not expecting him to be this talkative. I was thinking I was going to have to pull out some stops in my head to get him to speak. And you got here and it's like, da, 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 da. Tell me, bud, what? He gives me cramps all over my body, which is weird. He doesn't have, let me figure this out. Maybe. Come here, show me one more time. At first, I thought it was muscular dystrophy because that's what that feels like, but I don't think that is anymore because I don't see any like wheelchair or anything. Hang on, let me see. Come here. What happened with you? If you're that blatant. He just yelled out a curse word. He's like, fuck, like that. I'm thinking, did you watch him die?
Yeah.
This, and I quote, there's like 5 things coming in my brain right now. Okay. Think of like a diamond shining light 5 different directions. He's giving me 5 different things. At one point, in one side, he says, I gave her enough trauma to last a lifetime. That's what he's saying. On another point, he's showing me an image of like, oh my God. I don't know if we're actually screaming though. I don't think we're screaming. On another side, I have this insane cramp, which for me can go with either he's having a heart attack or he's having a stroke. I think it's more up here because he keeps touching me here. But he's also talking about how as he's going down, as he's having this, you are panicked afterwards and like he's insta gone or something, like, and he's talking about here and then he's here. He dies and then his soul is here, and he's talking about watching you. And so I think that may be it, but and now he's pacing and he's panicked and he doesn't know what to do. And I think it may be something cardiovascular because he's also talking about eating too much beef. And I'm a fan of that. And I'm okay with that because I eat too much beef too. And he keeps showing me like clogged arteries. And I have high cholesterol. So we're like one and the same right now. I entirely way too much dairy products. Tell me about you. Tell me. You're screaming. You poor thing. So you were with him as this happened, the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh my God, honey bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You were there. Wow. What? He just wants to go do yard work. He just wants to go and like go outside. Yeah. What is that about?
He loved yard work. That was his that's why he hated being in the apartment. He couldn't wait for us to get a house because he wanted to do all the yard work. And
yes, that's what he keeps showing me. My poor bud. Yeah, he keeps showing me a rake like for leaves, and then he keeps showing me bagging stuff up with a mower. Like that's what he wants. Like that's all he wants to do. And that's so funny. I've never had a spirit say the only thing I really miss is my wife and yard work. Like I'm here for it. And tell me what? He says, I'll make you the best yard you've ever seen. You know it. I'm like, I know. Exactly. He's like that. I'm like, I get it. I can see his hands. He's very good at what he does. He's talking about you sleeping with his shirt. He's talking about you sleeping with this and like,
oh my God.
Crying. He's talking about sleeping with this and crying into it. And like you can smell it. He's talking about the feeling on your face because he's with you in that. He's inside of your brain when you're doing this. This is odd. That's their energy. He loves you. He says, I'll get dressed up for you anytime that you want. Anytime that you want. He's like more, I just miss his little fuzzy chest. Like that's what I feel like for you right here. Like you doing like this, like it's the whole thing. I don't know if he did. He did. He's talking about that. He's talking about you. What? So he was at home and you were at work?
When it happened? Or
yeah.
No, we were both at home.
You were both at home. Interesting. I know he said that earlier, but then he's talking about, were y'all on opposite schedules for work?
He worked a second job and he worked on Saturdays and I didn't. So he was getting up to go to that job when it happened.
That's why.
Yeah. So I was home that day because it was a Saturday, but he was going to be going in.
Wow. Yeah. He's talking about you staying home, or like one person staying home and one person going out, and how it's a different schedule or opposite. Okay. Oh my God. And it happened on a Saturday morning. I'm sure you hate Saturday. My God, I would hate Saturdays. What? You hate antidepressants. I do too. You feel like you're going crazy half the time, don't you? Like you just run in your mind. It keeps going. Yeah. He's in your head with you, and you get beside yourself all the like. Yeah. He says, I know she mourns me. I know she misses me, but I don't know what to do. Because he keeps getting down in front of you all the time, and he's trying to because he can't pull you out of it. You can't pull yourself out of it at the same time, because it's a hurt so deep that you lost your other part of your soul.
Exactly.
I know. Exactly. I can feel it. And so if people say like, oh, take this or do this, like I could sit here all day and say, oh, what do we find joy in something? Like this person is the other half of your soul. I want to let you know that there is It's that feeling. And I personally, from doing this for a long time, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because I
right.
understand exactly the depth of how you feel. He even shows me an image, like even if a rainbow, a pot of gold, and sunshine came down, you'd still go, because it's not with him. And I
Right.
get it. And he told me, and you didn't fail him. There was no saving him. There was no nothing. It couldn't have been any different. He's talking about, he's like, hun, he's like, there, you couldn't have done it. All that, if I would have moved a little bit, if I would have just done this a little bit, like all that, nothing. He was already out of his body.
That's,
He
yeah,
was
that
already
was
out.
one of my questions, because I never
Yeah.
learned CPR. So I was always afraid.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do CPR. And so on 911 walked me through it, but I was so afraid that if I didn't do it right, maybe that's why he passed.
No. He was already, he's talking about, what did he end up, like, what happened with him? Was it
It
like,
was a
what was it?
heart attack. Yeah, it was a heart
It was
attack.
a
He
heart
just
attack.
got up to get dressed for work and then just was talking and then just fell against the closet and just went right down, and I couldn't wake him up.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's why this is what he literally showed me, just how he's up. And when his body goes down, his soul comes up. So
Oh, wow.
he's out before you do it, because he's watching you freak out. He's watching you scream. He's watching you panic. He's watching you call. He's watching you shake. He's watching you not know what to do. He's there, and he wants to get back in his body, but there's no way he can.
Right.
There's no way he can. And one, you don't have any family around you to go to their house that night. You had to stay in that same place.
No, I have close family, and my parents let me
Good.
move in with them for like a month.
Good.
So I didn't have to be here.
Good. Perfect. Okay, this is what he says. He's talking about how he says, I didn't want her to stay there. I didn't want her to stay there that night. I didn't want her to be there that night. I can't have her alone that night. And so for me, a lot of times when they say this, this means that they had to be there. And so I was like,
Right.
did you have to be there? Did you not have any? Yeah. And so he's showing disdain. So he's happy that you were able to do that.
But
He told me, y'all had so many plans.
yeah,
He just wants like property by like a lake, and doing his little yard work and having, I just want y'all to have like 2 or 3 acres and really enjoy it. I want him to have a riding lawnmower, like at some point. Like I
yes.
just, like, that's what he keeps
Exactly.
showing me. See, that's what he's just showing me. So it's so interesting, because you know what he's doing right now? He is on, in my head, his version of heaven. He's going to wait for you. He has this house that I think, it's weird. It almost looks like a lake house, but like one of those Adirondack style lake houses that have like the single floor, and then it has the high pitched roof or whatever it is,
Oh my
like
God.
that.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I just, that's exactly, I sit and picture what heaven will be like with him, and I picture us in a house just like that on a lake. And we never talked about that, but that's literally exactly what I picture when I picture
That's
being
what
in
he's
heaven with him.
that's what, okay, so let me tell you the rest of it. This is what he just showed me. So this is what he's showing me. He's showing me, think about me. I'm like, my vision. This is what, because he shows me his version of heaven. I'm probably, I don't know, 2 acres away from this place, and I'm looking kind of like down at it. And it's that style of home with the high pitched roof. There's a lake kind of like behind it over here. And then he's on this tractor, the mower thing in the front with a goofy looking hat to like keep the sun off, going like that.
That's so
And
perfect.
and he's so cute. Everything is like in cream, and it's, oh, we can do navy blue at some point. I don't know where that's going to come from, but in my head, everything right now is very light colored, and I think it's because it's heaven. But he's there waiting for you. Oh my God, you are going to walk into that house with like the double door and the windows on the side one day. I can tell you that it will be a thing down the line.
That's
Okay.
amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he loves you. You're welcome. Yeah, that's where he is. He does come and lay with you. He does come and be with you, but I want to let you know too that that is where your husband is. I want to go and ask him a couple other things that go along with this. Tell me about her. Tell me what happened. Tell me what is going on. Where are you at now? One. Oh, interesting. He didn't really drink a whole lot, did he? He didn't drink a whole
No,
lot anymore, did he?
he was sober for 26 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, so he
yeah.
didn't drink at all.
At
Yeah, that's
all. Yeah.
wow.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. I go, so what do you do now? Or what did you do? Tell me about your life. I said, did you like beer or wine or liquor? And he goes, like that. And there's a feeling of going
Yep,
like that. Because he was an alcoholic at first, wasn't he?
yep, before I knew
Yeah.
him. So
Yep. Uh-huh. So my husband I have now, he was as well before I met him. And so
really,
he's comparing himself. Yeah,
oh
that's where that
wow,
comes
that's
from.
cool.
Uh-huh. Isn't that cool? Yeah, he's
That
talking
is
about how
amazing.
this is called, do you know why this connection works? Because there's love and because I know how to channel, but it's because of your connection and your love. It also works like this too because of how he passed. He passed so quickly. He didn't have a chance to tie up any loose ends. And so he's going to try to give it all he has right now so that you know that he's with you because he wants you to move up into a better state. That's why he's trying to
Okay.
save you because he loves
Oh,
you.
that's so
It's a thing.
sweet. Yeah.
It is. That's what they do.
Yes.
He
Wonderful.
says, tell me about you. What else, bud? Says, yes, he'll have a Coke. I'm like, okay, fine, we can have a Coke. He goes, tell me about this. Yeah, that's what he's like, one, tell me about her. Interesting. He's was like the ex-husband for you, like a real narcissistic, abusive ass butt?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. I said, so what about her? Tell me about you. I said, what about her? He goes, he says, tell her that there's no assholes in heaven. I mean, I was like, okay. I said, who? He's especially not that ex of hers. I go, well, what did he do? And he like gives me all these images and feelings. And I'm like, I understand you. And he goes, yeah, they never learn. He says, what? Oh, so he had kids. Oh,
Mhm.
he did. Okay. One.
Yes.
He's so funny. He like makes a joke. He says, I'd put a baby in her day one. So like it's a whole thing. I mean, I know that y'all would go and like enjoy your life all together and get old together, but he's like talking about how if you could have a little him running around, it would be a whole thing. What? Yeah. Yeah. He's there for it. Wait, how long? How long? Sherry, when is y'all's anniversary?
We don't really have one. We kind of met, I don't know how to say this. We kind of met before we were both divorced and just in bad
I've done that.
situations. And
Yeah.
so we don't really have like a specific I mean, I think it was in
What's the
October.
significance of June?
June. I mean, he has a son who has a birthday in June.
Oh, that's the sun. Okay, that's the Gemini person. Interesting. There's like a big heavy tie of June and in May, but I don't think he's a Taurus. I don't think he's a Taurus. So I don't know what would go along with that, but it doesn't lead me to say anything.
Right.
That's why. So I'm like, what is that? Oh, maybe no, I don't want you to reach out and say happy birthday to his son because you really don't talk to him, correct?
You're right. Yeah, I tried the younger one. I talked to him. We had a good relationship, and then he kind of just quit. The older one
really
just never did.
Next, yeah, that's what he says. He goes like this. I said, do you want her to go and tell him happy birthday? Is that what you want? And he's talking about, no, tell her I'm just I think he's just trying to pull out of the stops to show you that he's here. He says, no, like I just wanted to recognize it. He says, don't tell her to say that because they don't really talk. I go, okay, cool. He says, we don't need to open up that. What? Oh, by the way, anything that you do, it's perfectly fine. I dated my doctor while married, so it was the whole thing a long time ago, my first marriage. So don't
Well,
both
thank you
double
for
negatives.
not
Okay,
judging.
you're welcome. Oh, I don't judge anybody. Don't worry about this. I may be spiritual, but I also, did my fair
Right.
share of fun. Hold on. Let me see. Tell me. Ooh, y'all are passionate better than anything else. He just wants to remind you of that. He
That's
wants you to remind you of that. So please just keep that in the back of your head. He keeps making me feel this feeling over and over and over again. I would not be surprised. Tell me. He's talking about if he was alive right now, if he had a body, he would just come up and like grab you and like grab your hair and give you this kiss, and he wouldn't care if like lipstick went everywhere. Like it's just a thing, and that's what he would do. And he says he does like being here for one reason. He says he's not tired. None of his joints hurt.
oh my
His
God.
little, yeah, because he keeps going like this. He keeps going, which to me means that I had a lot of joint pain or a lot of back
Yes.
pain going on. Yeah.
Yep.
And he says that he's happy because none of this hurts anymore. And he
Good.
says, yeah, he loves you. I wonder if he ended up, do you know if he had spinal stenosis or like something going on with that?
Not that I know of. I know he had just a lot of back pain and knee pain, and like hand joint pain. That's why when you were doing that, that's
The
his
hands.
joints and his hands and his fingers would hurt really bad, especially towards the end.
Yeah, he's because the back pain that he makes me feel, it's very severe, which would lead me to believe that either we have just insanely crushed disc or we have something like spinal stenosis. And he talks about his little joints all the time. You could tell he could repair and fix anything if he wanted to. He could like get in there. He could be like the manly man of all mans. He says, "What'd you do? What'd you do?" What does that mean? Hold on. He like has a whistle. He's like blowing a whistle. What are you doing with that? Weird. Did he like teach little kids or something? What was he
He
doing?
used to coach basketball on the like as a side thing, because he loved doing that. So he coached
Yeah.
basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
A long
interesting.
time ago.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm wondering, because basketball would be my sign for that. He didn't do that at all. I'm wondering if, tell me about your job. What did you do?
Oh,
He doesn't coach over there. He doesn't coach over there.
you know
He
what? It
says
actually, I'm
What?
sorry.
What?
He
Okay.
worked at the high school with me. We both worked at a high school. He was security, but so there's kids all around. So that's probably
Everywhere.
No.
Oh, and the whistle thing could probably like blowing for somebody for like a cop. That's usually what I say
right.
for a cop.
Okay. Oh, okay,
Interesting.
perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Hold
with
on.
security.
But he was a friendly security guard apparently because people liked him because he's
Yeah.
talking about saying hi to everybody and being there.
Yep.
He says that. Tell me. Oh. So that's where y'all met. That was the whole thing. That's where y'all met. Oh yeah. He's done it. He says, he goes, oh, it was really like we were back in high school. I was like, oh, really? Tell me about it. And he was like, come on into my car. Like it's a whole thing. And I'm like, I'm here for it. And he says, what? You're so funny. You're so shy when it first came to him, right? Like it was so
Yes.
cute. And you're like,
Yep.
he's like, he's taking me back to the feeling. And he just thinks, oh, y'all were so awkward in such a cute way. Oh, what? Tell me. Interesting. I'm wondering if his wife had like, do we know if his wife had been talking to somebody too?
He told me he suspected that, but he never knew if she was.
Interesting. Yeah, isn't that wild? This is what he says.
Funny.
I said, I said, what about your wife? What was going on? He gives me the feeling of, well, she wasn't straightforward either. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And so I asked you that. I was like, okay. What? What? He said but his kids were already older. His kids were already older at the time he got this divorce. Yeah. He says, what is she going to get me for? He says, I think it was almost, well, I mean, she was pissed off at him, but at the same time, it was like, I guess the separation went pretty well. We're going to leave that there. Maybe not so much on your side. It's almost like you ran away from yours. You ran away from yours. And I'm glad. Yeah, he's talking about that. And he's saying like, he's glad you did. This guy adores you. You are his soulmate.
Oh,
10 out of 10 all the way through. I want to ask him one. Do you have his picture? Do you kiss it at goodnight?
yeah. I usually light a candle, and then when I light it and blow it out, I give it a kiss. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I do a whole thing at night with his ashes.
You have a
and everything.
shrine.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So.
He keeps talking about, he goes like this. I go, so what does she do? Tell me if you're around her. And he's talking about having a shrine. And then he shows a picture and he goes, all he shows is like, if you have a zoom in of this part and you go like that.
Yep.
And so he's here with you with that. He says that, tell me what? You say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I miss you. You do things in multiples with this over and over again, which is good. Yeah, no, that's okay. He's just don't ever think I think anything strange. Okay. Believe me, it's not. I get you. Everybody's dead in my family. And they like this. This is the thing, by the way. So
good.
It's a good thing. He says that he says she does it in multiples. He says that he wants to like pick you up and tell you to come dance. He can't dance, but he'll do it with you. You have what? Interesting. Have you thought, did you like walk through or like maybe you daydreamed that? Hold on. Did you like create like a script? Did you create something about the wedding that you didn't have or you didn't have? Did you go through and like look at like the songs or something or like
no, I do think about it though. I mean, I just kind of play it out in my mind, what it would have been like.
Yeah. This is what he keeps showing me. He shows me he's like in this daydream with you. I think when you're daydreaming about that, I think he's there with you. Like that's actually him. And he's making me shift through like different music. Like, do we do rock? Do we do country? Like, what do we do? Which one is this, right? And then he's talking about how we're shifting maybe the venue. And then we're really, really talking about like, if we have a dance or like what's happening at this moment, like what am I, like the whole thing. And he's like there, shift. Everything in my head is, I just want it to be done in a really pretty church in my head. I have no idea why. And like by a lake or something. I like, it's all, again, lake is like a huge thing. That is his thing. He says, tell me. Interesting. You haven't gotten rid of his stuff yet?
No, his clothes are still hanging up in the closet. I just can't. Yeah.
I know. That's what he says. I said, well, what about her? What does she have? And he says, Amy, fucking everything. And I said, well, yeah. And I go, what do you mean by that? And he goes, and I'm wearing these little Ugg slippers, and he goes, shoes. And then he says, he talks about shirts. He says, it's all here. It's all here. Wow. Yeah. You even like keep the toothbrush if you can.
Oh my God. That's so, I literally was just thinking in my head, I even have his toothbrush sitting out still in the bathroom. And then you said that. I literally just thought that.
That's channeling.
Still sitting on the counter in the bathroom where he left it. Yeah,
that's what he's bringing. This is because he's connecting through you to me. And so he's like, he says that you even have the toothbrush and he just wants you to know that. He says that, tell me about her. What? you say, I just miss you so much. I just miss you so much. And he's like, I know. It's interesting. Whenever you're in the bathroom and you're looking in the mirror, he's talking about being behind you and seeing you. It's a whole thing. He's there. It's just very hard. It's very hard for you to do. So this is one of the things I'm going to teach you in the middle of this, what I want you to do for him to get more signs. Okay. So there's signs all around us, but I've kind of taken on a way for us to have more control. That way we know what we're looking for. Okay. So instead of just being like, there's a coin, great. I lived in the center of Houston. There are hobos everywhere. There's coins everywhere. So this is what you do, especially tonight when we're saying goodnight, when we're doing our ritual that we do, which is perfect. I want you to say, Bill or honey or love bug, and you call him love bug. Let's do that. Just love him. And say, I want you to come in and I want you to be with me for a moment. He's here. But what we're doing when we're asking that, we're asking for that connection, which means it will happen. Okay. Allowing is a big thing. Whenever you do that, I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and in your mind's eye or in your head, I want you to put yourself back and relive some good memories you had with him. Really good ones. Okay. And you're probably going to cry, which is great. You're probably going to get goosebumps, which is wonderful. That's him. And then what you do in those moments, that's kind of conjuring. That's bringing them up. That's building that connection. That's all that is. And then what you do is you say, okay, Bill, I'm going to create a symbol or a sign or a song. And when I see it or hear it or experience in my reality, I know that you're with me. And then I want you to choose something random. Okay. And let's even start off first with, let's do a blue heart. Okay. Blue, because you're wearing a shirt, and then a heart.
Yep.
And what you do is you see it in your mind's eye. So if I said envision a blue heart, you picture it, what it looks like, and then you say in your mind while you have that there, because you're giving them that in your mind, as you say, I want to see this in the next 24 to 48 hours, and I know that you're with me. And then I want you to get a notepad, keep it by your bed, and write down blue heart 428, and then put it there. And then you just go about your normal day. You go about your day, tomorrow, the next day, whatever it may be. And then you don't look it up. You don't try to search for it. You just let it go out of your brain. And what will happen is that will show up. Okay. And then you're going to go, whoa. And then after you go, whoa, you're going to say, thank you. And then after you say, thank you, you go home that night after you see it. Okay. Because we got to give them one at a time. Yep. After you see it, and you do it all over again, but then you change your sign. Okay. To something different. And then you write that down again. And so every time it shows up, now, mind you too, I just want to let you know, with like the first one and the second one, they're learning how to bring this into your reality. They're learning how to do that. They're learning how to connect. And so if it doesn't show up in the first 24 hours, give it an extra day. Yeah, especially if you're just sitting at home, like you have to interact with the world for them to bring it in too. Okay. Yep. And so when it does happen, you may also get it at twice. Maybe you ask for a blue heart one day, but then you ask for, a purple pumpkin the next day, and you walk into a store and there's a purple pumpkin with a blue heart on it. And you'll be like, what? So you got both of them. This is what I do. And so when you do that, what is happening is that you are asking them for something. They're giving it to you because they want to make you happy. They want to raise your vibration. They want you to know that you're connected. And even though it won't bring them back at all physically, you'll feel an odd sense of peace and calm. And then you can use that in your day-to-day life moving forward. If you want to move forward with saying, like, where do I go? Do I move? Do I not move? Do I stay here? And you ask for it, and they'll bring it into your world. Okay. Now, I also, before I go back to channeling, I just want to look real quick, because I haven't felt soulmates like this in a very long time. And I want to see, for energy wise, if this is, a thing all the way. And so I want to kind of look, can I look at you in his chart real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Which is just energy markers. Yeah. I want to look at yours, because I want to see also with your heart area, how we can do stuff that we find joy in. So I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. So my birthday is November 7th of 88. When is yours?
Okay, it's August 21st of 69.
You're the Leo.
I am, although I do not fit the Leo anything at all. I
No.
just don't know how I'm a
Oh,
Leo.
oh, I'll tell you. And then I was born in Houston, Texas. What about you?
I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go here. Do, do, do. Mm, You know, I've never been to Minnesota. That's my next place.
Really,
Hold
that's
on.
beautiful.
Uh-huh. Oh, I've heard. I've heard. I need it every single time I want to go there. It's freezing and
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
drive in snow. Yeah.
Yeah, come in the
Mm,
fall. That's the best time. Early fall.
yeah. Oh, and when is fall for y'all?
Like September, October. October is
Oh,
really
okay.
pretty. It's a little cool, but not cold. But the leaves are all
Oh,
changing and it's really pretty. And yeah.
okay. Well, I'll have to figure it out and then I'll let you know. You can be my guide and we can channel your husband. I'm
Okay.
just letting you know that. No, I'm being serious. I'll let you know when I come
I
and
would love
we
to.
can all, I know, I'll teach you how to feel him more. It's always good here, but it's even better there. Oh, my friend, that is why. That is why. Oh, okay. I'll tell you why in just a second. And then go ahead, tell me when is his?
His birthday is 4/5, 60.
Y'all are the, oh my gosh, the fire sign couple. Hold on. And then do you know where he was born at?
I don't. I know he was born in Minnesota, but I don't. I mean, I have his
Okay.
birth certificate out in the other room, but
Oh,
um,
you're fine. You're fine. It's not that big of a state. That's just for longitude and latitude. So we'll go
okay.
ahead and Minneapolis is kind of like right there,
Yeah.
in the middle. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, y'all. Ooh, so you are so sweet. You are, he can be a pushover. No wonder he wanted to do yard work too. Let me tell you that you guys connected so deep on a heart level. It's
Wow.
nauseating. And that is
Really?
why you still do. Yeah. And let me tell you why. So you say you don't go along with Leo. You do. And I'll tell you why you do in a little bit. But your love sign, your Venus, this is where your heart is. This is how you want to be loved. This is how you give love in return. And yours is in Cancer. So it's this deep, passionate, intense water sign that's very loving and very nurturing. Usually this means that we have a lot of people that hurt our heart. We have a lot of people that kind of used us and abused us and told us that we weren't good and kind of like walked all over us. And when we find somebody that's really, really kind, we give all of ourselves to them being in this placement. And that's what you did with this person. It also means that you're super nurturing, you're super kind, you're super caring, but it also means when you lose the love of your life, you feel like you lost yourself too. This is one of like the deepest
Okay.
feeling, more intense signs. His Venus, his love sign is also in Cancer. So you both go together like peas and
Oh,
carrots.
that's
So I have these
awesome.
two, oh, it is. I have these two sappy, wonderful love sign people together that just like their hearts reach across the boundary, and I'm totally here for it. Now, the
That's
other
so
thing
awesome.
with, and this is why that feeling is. Now, why would I say you do fit a Leo profile and you don't see it? So I see signs and as energy. I don't see them as am I a line or anything like that.
Right.
And your sun sign is in Leo, which is just your outer personality. It's what you can give the world. But there's two levels of every energy. There's the highest level of it and there's the lowest level of it. When you're a female and you have the sign of Leo, it means that the energy that is put at you to teach you lessons and to make you understand who you are, it's a lot of energy that says you're not good enough, you're not great, you're not going to amount to everything. Be super sensitive, wear your heart on your sleeve, take everything too hard, like stuff like that. And so
Yep.
you can almost feel like, oh, what Leo is for me is realizing that you are the most powerful thing in the room, that you are this boss, that you can go out and teach people or talk to them or lead a room and have a conversation. Like for you being in like a group of people that lost their husbands and talking about your experience on heart health and getting out there, like you would be amazing, but you have to find that to be that lion. Okay,
Okay.
that's the difference. Okay, it's what we're trying to get to. So are you a Leo right now? Yeah, in a way, but you're a nervous Leo, but you can develop into a it's different. So
Right.
it's interesting, and why you got along with him so well, his moon, his emotional side. So we always have two signs that are the most of us. We have our sun sign, which is our outer personality. We have our moon, which is our inside. Okay. His
Mhm.
moon, his internal area is in Leo. So when he's talking to you, he's bringing out the best in you. He's
Yeah.
making you feel, I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all are completing each other. Okay. The
That's
other thing though is that it is his sun sign is in Aries. Your moon is in Aries.
oh,
So
wow.
y'all are the same, but
Right.
you're opposite, which means that you bring out the other's strength or the other's weaknesses.
Wow.
That's what,
That's so
that's the
cool.
yin and it is. That's the yin and yang that I'm talking about. And then your hearts connect as well. Now we go a little bit further. Your communication style, how you talk, is in Virgo, which means you were probably taught that everything has to be correct. Wrong. So these are mistakes
Okay.
or try to make everything perfect. And it can lead you to feel very nervous a lot. His communication style is in Pisces, so it's a little relaxed, it's nice, it's good. And so you're like, okay.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
that's
awesome.
why.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
it is. And so this is his energy. That was what he was supposed to do this life. Now we go a little bit further, then we're going to go back to channeling, is that your Mars, your masculine side, and your drive in life and everything like that. This is very interesting. Yours is in Capricorn. So it's all about having your own business, owning your own thing, doing your own thing. But it also means that you really do need a support of a partner.
Mhm.
His masculine side is also in Capricorn. So you go there. That's also why he wants to have a house. You do. You want to do yard work. He does. He wants to support you and give you everything.
Wow. That's
It's
so
neck and
crazy.
I know. I know. When we find people that, we say we're drawn to you, I get you. It's because you're getting driven, you're meeting another version of yourself that completes you.
Wow.
That's it.
That's so cool.
I know. Isn't it nifty? Now we go one more thing, and then I'm going to go back over here. Actually, I like two more things. So we all have a thing called a North Node. It's what our soul is trying to become. Okay. So his North Node, what his soul is trying to become, is in Virgo, which is what your communication style is. So when you spoke to him, you spoke to the higher version of himself, what he's trying to get to, the logic, the understanding. You really, really calmed him down and made him think. And your North Node, what your soul is trying to become, guess what that is? That's in Leo. So all you are is you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to be the best version of yourself. And since his emotional side, the natural person who he is in Leo, every time he spoke to you, it made you feel like you were who you were, like
Right.
naturally are.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly.
and so that's why when he crossed over, you felt like you lost part of yourself. Well, because he was kind of like this crutch that was helping you lift up to who you
Right.
are. Okay.
Right.
So now he has to just do this in a different way. Now, the last thing, and then I'm going to go back into channeling, is that we all have a thing called a second house. It's our base vibration. It's who we are naturally underneath all of this. Now, this is kind of cool for you because your second house is in Scorpio. So you're naturally a Scorpio. Let's just say that. So you're a little bit more mystic. You're a little bit more in tune. You like murder mysteries. You like all of that stuff. You have like this heavier thing about you. It also means that you can feel and sense spirit easier. Well, guess who you
Wow.
have over here that's like connected to you? Okay.
That's so
So
cool.
it is. So if you feel oddly drawn to the dark side, there's a reason for it. The
Cool.
other thing too, and last thing with this is with your Scorpio in this placement, it also means you can have depression more easily. You
Mm.
could get to the dark part of your life more easily. It means that it's your dark tunnel that you put yourself down is so much deeper than anybody else that it almost feels like it's impossible to get out of it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so you need that light. And it's very interesting because his second house is in Leo because he's that light for you.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm. So
amazing.
do you see
Yeah,
how
that's
y'all are?
incredible. Yeah,
Isn't it cool?
yeah. I mean, and we
Yeah.
always said we were soulmates. I mean, we just knew, you know,
Mhm.
and so it just, that just makes so much sense,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Now, the other thing with him is that he's still connected to you. So, and where is he at? What is it? I just want to teach you this too, that we have a better understanding of that. Um, if you want to connect with him, if you want to talk with him, you can do it all the time. You just have to help him learn how to connect through you. He's
Right,
going to you get signs and symbols everywhere all the time, but are we paying attention to it? Okay.
right.
You'll see little things like maybe you see his name pop up somewhere. If somebody says his name, like that's not
Yeah,
by chance. That's
he is
him.
good about signs with me. He sends them
Good.
all the time. Like
Well,
there's no
tell me.
denying it. I mean, just like on my
Mm,
birthday last year, I knew it was going to be super, super hard. And so I asked him to, if he could do something to let me know he was with me, because he always made a big deal about my birthdays. And
yeah.
I always, ever since he was gone, I always found dimes in weird spots. And
Yeah.
so on my birthday, I had to get ready because I was going to my parents, and I um, I kept just getting this feeling to go outside. Something kept telling me to go outside, and I would know I was going to be
Yep.
late, but it's like I had to. And so I went to the stairwell to go outside, and there were 10 dimes just scattered down the steps. And no other coins, just dimes, 10 dimes, just kind of randomly all the way down the steps. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire was like our song. He loved them, and he got me into them. We used to go to their concerts all the time and stuff. And so
Oh,
that was our thing. And so on my way to my parents, I had said to Abby, my daughter, I said, the only thing he has to give me now is a Earth, Wind, and Fire song, because I don't ever hear them. And I said, but we're almost there, so it's got to be when we go home. And when we left, like 5 hours later, we got in the car and like turned on the radio, and Earth, Wind, and Fire was playing on the radio and stuff. So it's stuff like that. But it's like, I mean, I'll ask for specific things, and he'll give
mm-hmm.
it to me. And
Mm-hmm.
cardinals, he'll do a lot too. Like the night that he died, a cardinal sang outside my window at like 2 a.m, and there's no trees right out
Which is
there or
not a thing.
anything. Yeah, it's not a thing. And it just did like one verse and it was done. And
Oh my
and it,
God.
yeah, and so yeah, all these things. And while I was living on my parents for that month, the light would like shut off all the way and turn back on, or light bulb would burn
Mm-hmm.
out. My dad would put a new one in, and that would burn out like immediately, stuff
Re
like that. So yeah, so
Yep.
he's been so good about that. And I was going to ask you, because I don't know where we are with time, but my
Okay.
daughter lost a pet, and she really, really wanted to just see quick if you would be able to just see
Oh,
how she is. So I, like I said, I just want to make sure that I leave time for that. So I don't know
yeah.
if you want me to
Well,
have
here,
her come
give
in and do that. Do you need to know what kind of animal or anything
no, no,
like
no. Give me the baby's name. Give me the pet's name.
Lucy?
Lucy. Hang
Yeah.
on.
And can I have
Hang
her
on.
come
Give
in
me.
here for that? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Go, go, go,
I'll
go, go.
just text
Go.
her.
Get it.
I'll just text.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Was Lucy like a small dog?
No,
What is Lucy? It's small. What is he?
she's a kitty.
Oh, a small kitty. Interesting. Yeah, all they showed me is a shadow and it's
Oh,
tiny, like this. And
right.
I'm like, small dog? What is that? Interesting. A cat named Lucy. I like that. Hang on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get him to come in here. Come on, Phil. Oh, hi. How are
That's
you?
Abby, my daughter.
Oh, hey. Hey, Abby. I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. Hang on. Let's see. Today's a kitty day. The first thing they said, I'm like, where's Lucy? Where's Lucy? And they show me the shadow that's like this big. And I'm like, is that a small dog? Like, what is that? And no, it's a cat. So FYI.
Just a
Yeah.
fat cat.
Yeah, it is. It's like that. And I'm like, but it's only black in my head. So I'm like,
Oh,
Small
Only
dog.
black.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Was it, is it only black?
yeah, yeah, that's so cute.
Oh, yeah. That's what Bill is showing me. All he shows me is like this, and it's just solid black. And I'm like, okay, there you go. So yeah, do you see? This is what channeling is. It's like me not knowing half of the things and then being correct. Let's just say that. I just work here. What is, tell me that. Can you bring, come here. Come here. Oh, he likes her. He likes her. Bill likes her a lot. He says like, hi. Oh my God. You're taking care of your mom? Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh,
Tell me. Hold on. Come here. Tell me about her. Interesting. He calls Lucy a damn cat, which is funny. So like Lucy's like running away from him and like only wants to go to her. Like that's a whole thing or something. I don't know. Maybe Bill's like not necessarily a cat person, which is fine. And I'm not saying it's a bad, but he likes all animals. He says, well, they like gave me this damn cat over here, and he was like, doesn't want to be with me, only wants to come over here and be with her. I was like, fine. He's like, I'll go and get her if you want. What? Tell me what happened. It's funny. He's talking about Lucy being so big that you could hide anything in her. I don't know if she was like that old though. I don't think she's like too terribly old. Was she like what? Maybe 9, 10? How old was she?
She was 10. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Because I asked him to show me her face and like age, cats like get a little gray. And like that's not a thing. And I'm like, well, is she a kitten? He goes, no. And then he compares her to my son's age. My son is 10. So I'm like,
wow.
That's yeah. Isn't it interesting? He says that what? Our guts are hurting really bad. Did she have cancer?
No, but it does make sense with her being in
She's
pain.
just she just like he makes me feel like I hurt really bad, and that for me is like, hold on, what are you doing with her? Bring her in. Don't talk about her. Let me talk to her. Hold on. Sorry, they will. Give me a second. She flops on her side. This is so interesting. It's like a pancake. Meow. What?
Oh,
Yeah, how funny. She's just like here. I'm like, hi. What's going on? So cats try to show you things in their own way. I'm asking her what part of your body, what's going on? Can you show me where it's at? Hold on. She's talking about crying. She cries in pain and she has her like that. So obviously this is like pretty noticeable. We're petting her, we're rubbing her. Did we end up like having to put her down?
We brought her to the hospital and she died overnight. And so that's always bothered Abby because she didn't get to say goodbye to her.
Yeah, she keeps talking about like how I don't know if she was sedated. I don't know what's going on. This is what she's showing me. She's showing me this just like that. She makes me hear other animals, which means like we're at a vet or we're at a hospital, we're at something like that. And she's talking about how she was a little nervous. She was a little scared, which is interesting. She just wants to be with her on her bed over and over and over again. She just wants to be with her on her bed. That's where she stays. That's where she lays. Piss off with the hospital. We don't like that place. Let me just tell you that. I don't know why she keeps talking about abdominal stuff over and over and over again.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe I haven't gone this way. She's not mad at you. She loves you. She just like literally wants you to know, like, why didn't you take her home? Because when cats die, they don't realize they're dead for a lot of times. And then they just like show up at your house. Like that's just the thing. And so then they hang out with you all the time. And so she's like, yeah, I'm here now. What? Like that whole thing. What?
Okay, please.
She loves you. You could actually like pick her up and you could like grab her, couldn't you? Like the whole thing. I have like a slightly feral animal. He hates that. So like this is a new area for me. He won. Tell me about her. What? I'm giving her head a kiss over and over. That's what she's like making me do. Oh man. Did we end up getting her cremated?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, sorry. She goes, I can like feel like that.
So they did that
And-
all the time.
Really? Yeah, she's like making me feel that, but it would be right here. It's weird. When she makes me do this, she makes me feel it here. That's why I'm like head as a kiss. And she loves you. And then I said, well, where's your body at? Are you buried or what? Did they not bring you home? She goes, me, which means I'm cremated. I'm like, okay. Don't feel bad about it. She loves you. She loves you. She's here. She just protects you. Don't be too sad. I know you cry about her a lot, but don't, because she loves you. She's not mad at you.
Oh, good.
She's just your cat. She's just your cat. What? She's doing like the annoying tail, which is very interesting.
She did that all the time.
I know it's the annoying tail, and I'm like, okay. And it doesn't look very, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit shorter for her body, but it may be because just how big she is. It's funny. One, she doesn't have a short tail though. Bill has her. And she just like runs away from him. Which it's hard for her to run. So yeah, your cat is here. Your cat is her body's crossed over, but her soul is here with you. Okay. And I know you go through. Do you have a picture of her out yet? Have you put that out?
No, we don't.
No, she has a
Okay.
brace. She's
Okay.
wearing a bracelet that has a picture of her
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, there you go. That's why. Okay, she keeps talking about seeing her photo out everywhere, and so that's on your wrist. Okay, good,
That's
good. I want you to keep that there. What happened with her? What was going on with her? Why is she so much pain?
She had pink. Oh, go ahead. You talk.
Yeah, she had a pancreatitis. Is that what it was?
Mhm.
So like she just kind of stopped eating. It had happened to her a couple years earlier and she had to get a feeding tube. And they didn't think that she would make it through that, but she ended up making it and living for another like 3
3
years.
years.
And then she got it again and it just,
And yeah, we caught it right away, so we thought she'd be okay, but she was kind of lethargic, so we brought her in, and then they called that night and said she died, so we didn't expect it. And
And
yeah,
oh my God. And I have had pancreatitis before, and it hurts so bad in your
Wow.
tummy. All of this hurts so bad. When I was going through surgeries, they had countless amounts of medication, and it would throw me into it. And oh my
Oh.
God. So
Oh
no
my gosh.
wonder.
awful.
Yeah, it is. Well, I can tell you she's okay. She loves you. She hasn't left you. And Bill's with your mom. So, I mean, between the cat and Bill, hell, can you at some point wait? But you don't, it's interesting. I think your mom would kill me if I told you to do this. It's weird. She just keeps like showing a picture of her face and she tells you to like get a tattoo of it on your forearm. But like at some point, I have no idea how that would happen.
if you want to get a
Um,
tattoo or something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. She just showed me like a picture of like her face with ears like that, and then she gets it and she puts it right here. And I was like, I don't know
So
anybody that can do cat faces, but I'm here for it. Okay. So y'all, I love you for right now because I gotta go to my last session too.
Right.
I want you to do a couple of things. These people are Bill's great. I'm just gonna call your cat's person too because she is. She loves you. She's around you. He is as well. I want you to take a couple minutes, both of y'all. Have a good breather. Have a good ugly cry. Okay. If you need me or if you have any questions, email me. Okay. And just give them praise. Give them love. You already do that. Try my signs and symbols things. Teach her that as well because she can get signs from cats too.
Okay,
You
I
can.
will. Can I just ask you
Okay.
really quick, what
What?
Sorry, what vibration Billy's at? Is he like in high?
Oh, he's good.
or-
He's high. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
good.
high.
Okay, that was all.
Yeah.
So,
He-
okay,
No, Bill is high vibration. He's not in a bad. That's why he's able to interact with Lucy.
okay, good.
So
Okay,
he's
thank you
good.
so
So-
much. This was
You're
just amazing.
welcome.
It was so
You're
worth the
welcome.
wait. Thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And I love you. And I'm going to send you the recording tomorrow morning. Okay.
Love you too. Okay, thank you so
All right.
much.
Love you.
Okay.
Anytime.